It's pretty amazing what you can learn about our planet from just one day's news. Sometimes, if you really pay attention, you can see a much bigger story taking shape. A story about how our relationship with animals is changing right before our eyes. So let's get into it.
Okay, let's set the scene. The date is December 31st, 2025. While everyone's getting ready to pop the champagne and count down to the new year, all these different things were happening around the world. From Asia to North America, in tourism and in tech, all of it somehow within the same 24 hours.
And when you start connecting the dots, it makes you ask a really big question. In a world that's changing so fast, how is our fundamental connection to animals evolving? Well, this one day gives us a fascinating snapshot of a massive global shift.
Our first stop is in Nepal at the well-known Saraha Elephant and Tourism Festival. Now, for years, this festival got a lot of heat from animal welfare groups for some of its events. But on this particular day, something was completely different.
I mean, just look at the contrast here. It's night and day. On the left, that's the old way. Controversial competitions, treating animals like they're just there for our entertainment. But on the right, that's the festival's new chapter. All those competitive games? Gone. Instead, they have elephant health seminars and activities that are all about positive, respectful interaction. This isn't just a minor tweak, it's a total rethink, moving animals from being props to being partners.
So at the exact same time, you jump halfway across the globe to California, where a totally different part of this story is playing out. This one isn't about wild animals and tourism. It's about something much closer to home, the fight to just be able to live with our pets. Lawmakers there were tackling a really heartbreaking problem. A report had come out showing that these huge, non-refundable monthly fees for pets were forcing people to make an impossible choice. It was leading to a huge spike in animals being given up to shelters. So this isn't just about money, right? It's an animal welfare crisis that's actually being driven by housing policy.
So what is pet rent anyway? Well, it's exactly what it sounds like. An extra monthly fee you have to pay just for having a pet, on top of your regular rent and security deposit. The law being proposed in California wasn't to get rid of it completely, but to cap it. The whole idea was to stop financial pressure from breaking up families and their pets. It's a real move toward recognizing that pets are family, not some kind of luxury add-on. Now, let's switch gears and talk about science, because this whole theme of our changing relationship with animals was also playing out in a huge way there. On this same day, you had two major breakthroughs that really signaled a revolution in medicine, for both of us and for them.
So on one hand, you have the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, announcing it was speeding up its plan to move away from traditional animal testing. They're looking at amazing alternatives like organ-on-a-chip technology. These are literally tiny devices that act like human organs, and advanced AI models. At the exact same time, a company called Tonix Pharmaceuticals was making headlines with its One Health idea, developing drugs that could treat conditions we share with our pets, like migraines.
And get this wasn't just some pie-in-the-sky concept. On this very day, Tonix announced it had raised $20 million from investors. That's a huge vote of confidence. It shows the market is betting big on this idea that human health and animal health are deeply connected. It's about bringing veterinary medicine up to the same advanced level as human medicine.
But, the story of this one day isn't all progress and good news. While humanity was busy rewriting its own rules for how to interact with animals, nature sent a pretty stark reminder that it still plays by its own, sometimes brutal, set of rules.
The U.S. Department of Agriculture put out a health alert about this creature, the New World Screwworm. And yeah, it's as nasty as it sounds. This is a flesh-eating parasite that was actually wiped out in the U.S. years ago, but now it's spreading again in Central America. It's a deadly threat, especially to our pets and livestock, because its larvae literally eat the living tissue of their host.
So the USDA's warning was super clear and really urgent, especially for people traveling with pets over the holidays. They laid out these 3 simple but absolutely vital steps. Check your pet regularly for any wounds, get to a vet immediately if you find anything suspicious, and make sure you're up to date on all your parasite prevention treatments. It's a sobering thought that as our world gets more connected, so do the dangers.
So when you take a step back and look at this one day, December 31st, 2025, what do you really see? You see a cultural shift toward respect in Nepal, a legal fight for compassion in California, a scientific revolution in medicine, and a biological warning straight from nature. Altogether, they paint this incredible picture of us as a species standing at a crossroads, actively and quickly redefining our relationship with every other animal on this planet. The real question isn't just what happened on that day, but what it tells us about all the days that are yet to come.